All right, let's go over this problem. I have a quadratic equation. The shape of the graph is a parabola. And in this parabola, I want to find the domain and range in both inequality and integral notation. Class, we just talked about that the domain is which axis? The x-axis. And the domain goes in which direction? Left to right. I'm going to do integral notation first, and then we'll come back to inequalities. Now, we've been talking about in integral notation that the values over here on the far left are negative numbers. We call those negative infinity. And the numbers to the far right are called positive infinity. So I'm going to move my pen from left to right. And I'm going to stop where I see the graph. So nothing, 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 and I'm going to stop right here. I stop because I touched the graph, and on the graph I have an arrow. We've been learning that arrows represent infinity, in this case, negative infinity. So let's write that. My graph's going to start at negative infinity. Now, don't be distracted that the arrow is pointing up. All you need to know is that it's an arrow. And if you keep going, the last thing you see on the right-hand side is also an arrow. That, in that case, is positive infinity. Class, what symbols did we learn to write with negative and positive infinity? What symbols? Parentheses. Let's do inequalities. Inequality is basically saying negative infinity, positive infinity means I can pick any number. Negative 10,000, negative 1, 6, 1,000, that's any number. So that means I can pick any number or all numbers, or we call this all real numbers. This symbol for all real numbers, you can also write this R. You draw an 11, write an 11, and then you make an R out of it. All right, let's do the range. The range goes in which direction? Bottom to top. And so I'm going to start my pen at the bottom. And as I move my pen up, I'm going to stop at the first time I touch the graph, right here at that order pair, 2, 1. This order pair is a closed circle. It has an x value, that's 2, and a y value, that's 1. Because the range is talking about the y-axis, up here is positive infinity, and down here is negative infinity. So if I do that again from bottom to top, the first thing I touch here is 1. I'm not thinking about the x-axis, just the y-axis, 1. And it's telling me if I start at 1, if I include that answer, which is a bracket, and I keep traveling up to the last thing I touch on the graph, which is the arrows. The arrows will say, in this case, that'll be positive infinity. And always with infinity, I have a parentheses. Remember, you don't need to write the plus sign. It's already implied that it is positive. To write the inequality of the range, well, again, I'm going from bottom to top, and I'm traveling along the y-axis, the y number line. And I stop on the number line on the y-axis at 1. Well, the graph, the green, is going towards numbers that are getting bigger, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are numbers that are greater than or equals to. It's greater than or equals to because I have numbers that are greater than 1, and it's equals to because it's a closed circle. And that's how you graph, or that's how you find the domain and range in both inequality and integral notation for a quadratic equation.